Welcome to the Wexford Football League Show. Welcome to the Wexford Football League Show. Tonight we have a Wexford F.C. special. I was going to look forward to their big game at the weekend in the semi-final of the Cup. We're going to be joined by a couple of the players and John Godkin later in the show. Tonight, first night, Nicky, we have Enniscorthy legend Aaron Dobbs with us. Welcome, Dobbsy.
Cheers, Brown. Thanks, Nicky. Thanks for having me.
You throw around the word legend very easily nowadays, don't you?
Take that.
Over 100 appearances for Wexford, he is a legend. He's in my eyes anyway.
Yeah. It's easy to be good in your eyes, but no, fair play to Aaron. Brilliant career, brilliant League of Ireland career. Obviously we followed you from a young age. I'd say Aidan had a lot more of a closer eye considering you started over there with the mine.
Yeah, look, it's...
Before you start to see, we had to put him up on the stage tonight.
I always on stage, Aidan.
Yeah, look, I suppose growing up in Enniscorthy, suppose there was a couple from Enniscorthy and kind of the League of Ireland scene, you know, obviously Hopper and Ricky and stuff had little stints in Pad Oil, but yeah, it was always a dream of mine to kind of...
Don't forget Anto
Russell, kill me for forgetting him, but it was always a dream of mine to kind of make a career out of football, whether that be the League of Ireland, elsewhere, whatever, but luckily enough, I've had a decent career so far, still only 25, so I've another good few years left for me, hopefully, but a good few appearances under the belt now and a lot of experience, so happy enough with how it's gone so far. And obviously playing for Wexford now, it's a great honour. Obviously it means a lot more to me to play for Wexford than the likes of Shelburne or your Longfords or
yeah, I was just about to touch on that. You were with Shelburne, Longford
and Rovers.
Shamrock Rovers, a stint with Shamrock Rovers. So they're the three clubs you really, I suppose it's easy to say you found a home in Wexford, but obviously you're from Wexford, but you seem to be really settled the last 2 years. But what was it like going up as a young lad up to your Shamrock Rovers and your Shelburne, such big clubs like I know Longford are a strong club in their own way, but like Shelburne and Shamrock Rovers are two of the top clubs in the country. What was it like going up there?
Yeah, it was huge. Fucking eye opener for me because like when I was growing up, I was, to be honest, underage. I was more involved in the GA than I would have been with soccer. I'm talking like probably up to the age of 13, maybe 14. And then probably from there on, it was Martin Healy actually kind of spotted me and brought me into the county setup. And I owe a lot to Martin actually for that. He kind of kicked me on with a soccer career, but he was the one that got me into the county setup. And I suppose from the county setup, it led to me getting spotted to sign for Joey's then in Sallynoggin in the DDSL. And then I had a really good year under 15 there, and then from there on to Rovers under 16 underage. That's when I probably really progressed the most, kind of in that full-time environment.
Would have been coaching with the Rover 16s?
Aidan Price at the time and Graham Gartland. Top class coaches, to be fair. And yeah, progressed a lot kind of under 17 there at Rovers then. And that's when I got the call up to the first team then, and I made, I think, maybe 14, 15 appearances and played in Europe and stuff at a very young age. So invaluable, like the experience I got there, and kind of in a full-time environment. It was real kind of eye-opener, kind of the standards that are set at the top clubs, like. And then I suppose touching back on the career, then I a couple of appearances then that season, and I came back on loan to Wexford then for probably a year and a bit. Had a decent spell. Scored maybe 8 goals in had a couple of injuries that year. Maybe I was averaging probably a goal every 2 games at 17, 18. Like, it was decent. And then from there, the contract kind of ran up at a young age. And that led me to Longford then. Kind of was using that as another stepping stone. But to be fair, it wasn't the right move for me at the time. Like, I was travelling up to Longford from Wexford, and it was just it was an awful slog, like, to play in the first division. Looking back, it was probably...
I remember chatting to you around that time, and you were saying it was very, very tough. The long dark evenings.
Yeah.
I think they were also training league slips. Is that what you said that time as well? So
Yeah.
no matter where you were going, you were traveling, and you were stuck in your college course at that time as well. So.
Right,
who actually, just before we move on, who actually got you introduced to the modelling that time?
So I was in college. I was in college, and I was doing a part-time gig in a suit shop.
Oh,
and one thing led to
you were
another.
part-time with us in the pub.
Yeah,
part-time in there as a model.
Bit of everything. Yeah, pulling a few coffees as well. I was. So
yeah, you are too.
It's keeping busy, yeah.
In the current squad, I think there's 5 Wexford chaps in it. It's probably a bit unusual for the League of Ireland to have that amount of local lads involved in the team. What does that mean for the squad? Is it easier then, as you as the Wexford lads, to pull the rest of the squad together? Would the 5 Wexford lads be kind of the leaders in the squad? Or?
Oh yeah, definitely. Look, I was, as I touched on earlier, I was on loan here the first time, and I think it was only me and Connor Sutton maybe, or the only Wexford lads at the time in the club. So there has been a huge shift, kind of thanks to John and Tony and stuff. Get like a big huge shift and focus on getting Wexford talent actually involved with Wexford FC, which there's loads of talent in the county. Like, that should be the aim, like, to get the likes of young Callum Harnett there, like, involved as well. Like, it's a no-brainer to get him involved in first team football, and why not do it in Wexford when he's only up the road, like. But no, it's brilliant to have the Wexford lads involved. Like, it's brilliant, really.
Would it mean more to you? Do you know, like, the lads that are coming in on loan and things like that? Does it, like, do you think your effect would mean more to pull these lads in?
Does it mean more to me?
Yeah, like, well,
them, like,
as a group, like, do you sometimes you think like this means a hell of a lot to me because this is our club in from the county, do you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the outsiders, like, do you feel like you have to try and give them a bit of a history talk?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, if I was in their shoes and I was, say, with the likes of a Shelburne or a Longford, and the roles are reversed, and we were in a cup semi-finals with Longford, obviously it'd be a big game and it'd mean a lot to me, but not half as much as playing for Wexford and being involved in the big games. Like, but at the same time, the lads, they've been brilliant. Like, they've taken it in their stride, and they do really like it down here with Wexford, because it's a good platform to perform, and there's not a whole lot of pressure on you. Like, they're just down here to enjoy their football, and that's it. Like, and I think a lot of them are.
This season been a bit similar to last season, where you struggle at the start, but the second half of the season you've been bang on form. It's probably one of the farm teams in the country at the moment. What do you put that down to? Is it just the signings coming in the middle of the summer, or is it just getting to know James? I know he's having 2 years now. Is it getting to know his style that bit better?
It's hard to put a finger on it, because I would have said that after last season, I would have said, yeah, it was down to a certain reason. But the fact that it's happened again, like, I suppose it's down to having a very young squad, and it's just, yeah, kind of when push comes to shove and we do need results, I suppose we're able to grind them out. And as you touched on, like, the additions to do help. Like, last year he had Owen Mason and Luke Brown and a couple others come in and really solidated at first, and then same this year, Lewis Temple coming in, and Connor Walsh and Divine Ismaila right back there as well. So 3 great defensive additions, and I suppose that's what we're lacking all year. Kind of, we're leaking a lot of goals, but we're scoring a lot of goals. So if we stop leaking the goals, like, kills you to think about it. Like, but if we didn't concede all them goals, like, who knows where we could have been in the league this year? Like, you know, based off probably the last 10 games, we're well capable of.
I think he's the top scorers in the 2 leagues, are you?
I think maybe Cork have one more than us now, but
it's just, I looked at it a couple of weeks ago. I thought you were right up there at the very, very top. So so obviously scoring the goals, and a lot of it lands on your shoulders. You're kind of the main target man through there. So how do you take that pressure?
Yeah, I suppose this year it's a lot more,
a bit more spread out this year. Isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I suppose last year was kind of centered on, like, if I don't score, we don't get a result, and that's how it felt to me. I had a lot of pressure on my shoulders, kind of. But this year, like, the additions of Mikey and then Thomas Lewis chipping in a lot of goals this year, and to be fair to Caleb, like, when he comes on, he scores. I don't know how, but he gets himself in the right positions every time, and yeah, it's spread out. Like, Lewis got a goal since he's come in. Devine got 2 in the cup quarter final. So yeah, to be fair, it's spread out a lot more probably compared to last year.
And the game itself is on Sunday. He's happy with that. He usually is playing on a Friday night, so it probably gives you an extra training session. I think he's trained tonight. He's probably train again on Friday, will you?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday. But
so that extra time will give you maybe a bit more time to work on a game plan. It will be a step up in level. It'll probably be similar to Cork, I'd say, would it? Drogheda?
Yeah, I'd probably argue a bit better.
Better than Cork. Yeah.
Like when you look at it from the outside looking in, like to be fair, in the Premier Division, Drogheda and Pats are probably the two of the best teams in the country at the moment. Like based off results, like if you're going by that, not looking at league tables or nothing, like they're top side and pay them all the respect in the world. But I suppose playing the Sunday it's probably a lot better for us because we've a couple of lads working and stuff like so. Like you're going to have the Saturday off to rest and recover and prepare for the game, and then you have the Sunday no work either. Like so, it's I suppose, definitely in my case anyway. It's a lot better to play on a Sunday.
Drogheda full time, isn't it?
No, they're part time as well. Yeah.
And it looks like they might catch balls, but doubt they will. So it look like he's be hoping to play him. I'd say twice, will you, in the playoff as well?
Thing. Look, and result aside on Sunday, like if it's time to put a marker down, like because it's looking like they're going to be the team in the playoffs. So put a good marker down for that game.
Like just going back a little bit, he is happy with your league so far. Like I know Cork have been kind of runaway leaders. Obviously you want to finish as high up the table, but would just be happy now to finish in that top 5, just to guarantee the playoff, or he is looking to try and get into that second or third and maybe make it a little bit easier for yourselves.
Yeah, I suppose going at the start of the year was, not going to lie, like the aim was to pick Cork. Like it was, we believed like the squad we had there. I mean, like you probably see from the last 19 games, you had the squad to kind of put these run of results together, and it was disappointing kind of for the first probably half of the season. And then look, you have to take a step back and look, settle for playoffs and go up the hard way. But now to be honest, now it's kind of get the job done, get in the playoffs, and then focus on them. Like,
yeah, and then the game Sunday, when you're expecting a big crowd from Wexford up.
Yeah, it's looking that way. I think there's 2 buses sold out now.
The buses are.
A lot of people stop me in an escorty walking around and saying they're going up to the game and stuff. So yeah, it should be a decent crowd. Yeah.
We'll be talking to Mikey later, but he's been struggling with injuries. Will he be fit for I think he's back fit, isn't he?
Yeah, I know he's grand now. Yeah. Old age and all that.
That's why you didn't have to be arguing with referees. He gives away all the secrets beforehand.
Don't think Drogheda will be looking at us now.
You never know, Aidan. You never know. Well, if he is, you're giving away all the secrets.
Well, I'm going to ask for another one now, even though you might be game plan Sunday. Will it be similar to what you're doing, or will you change it slightly? You're going to step up in level.
I don't think there's a reason to change. I suppose we'll take it as it comes, and we'll go into the game kind of with a game plan, and look, we'll have to adapt kind of whatever they bring. Like they're a top side, like they're nothing like we've ever faced in the first division. Like they're, as I said, they are better than Cork. Like, they're a top side, and suppose we'll just have to go into the game and see how it fares out and kind of adapt as it goes along. Like,
yeah, even would you prepare any different? Like it's an FAI Cup semi-final. It's your first performance or first time in it, I presume, is it? You were never with anybody else, so
couple of quarterfinals.
So yeah, like so. Look, it's a massive game. It's on TV. Would it change you?
No, I don't think so. I think last year we had Cork in the quarterfinal, like when we were down there, and it was the same thing. Like we're playing well at the time. We're like, let's go out and do the same thing, and we're 1-0 up for 80 odd minutes and that, and we're unlucky to lose. Like so, I suppose it's the same thing. Like you're doing all the right things at the moment in the league, so just take that into this game and look, they're top side, so maybe it'd be a bit of a lower block defensively at times, but yeah, we'll work on all that in the sessions between now and the game next Sunday. And
the bookies have given you no chance, so I'd say you're happy enough for that and maybe sneak into the game. We think that'll put pressure on Drogheda. They're probably massive favourites to get to the final, and people probably up around there are probably talking about the final. You think that will help you? A good start for you will be needed to really drive that home, Dermot.
Yeah, I suppose I thought about that myself, but then I was looking like Drogheda played at Lone in the quarterfinal. They ran out handsome winners there, like so. It's not unusual for them to kind of be favourites in that. And then the last 16 they played, was it Wilton? Could have been Wilton, the one 9-0 in that. So look, they're used to being favourites, like, and they won't phase them. The same with us, like we don't mind being underdogs. Like gives us a free shot at them, like So
no pressure.
Yeah,
go and enjoy it.
Go away from the game for a minute. It must be an exciting time to be a part of Wexford FC. Some big news coming out there the last couple of weeks with the new setup down in Wexford and things like that. And must be.
I actually thought you were going to go about. He's cousin stag next year. Are you going on that? Cousin Sean stag next year, never mind.
I'll be a bit loose on it.
That'll be raw.
Can we go back to the
Yeah, no, go ahead. It was more interesting than about the stag, I think. There'll be a lot better stories coming out, but anyway,
Nah,
that's
there
for sure.
Will he be invited?
I'm going, yeah.
Are you?
So it must.
I should be my brother-in-law.
That's why he's playing with Shamrocks. So going
Listen,
back to
if Dobbsy hadn't went back to Wexford FC, we were on to him strong too.
We're going to game now, sure, with the two lads up top there.
Yeah, that's
Can
true.
I ask him the question now?
Yeah, go on.
He wasn't wanting to answer for some reason.
I know, we're quiet.
So it must be an exciting time off the field down there as well. People must be looking forward to what's coming. And in fairness to Tony, he's done a good job since he's been in there.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And I suppose I'll go back to when I was here the first time a couple of years ago. The club was on its knees, like, no disrespect, but just things weren't in place. Like, there was a time there when Shawnee O'Shea was involved with the club and Damien Locke got sacked, and like Shawnee was the kit man, the grounds man, the bus driver,
Done everything in fairness to him.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
and the manager at the one time. Like, there was literally time when he'd get the bus, load up the bus, drive the bus, take the gear off the bus, set it up, give us a team talk, and put the gear out for training. Like,
Yeah, so
madness.
a lot
like,
of credit
but-
has to go to Shawnee
Shawnee,
that he
yeah.
kept the club going for such a
Yeah,
long
look,
time.
exactly.
on
And
his
now
own,
look, it's in better hands with Tony and John and stuff. So it's brilliant. And obviously being from Wexford, it's great to see the progression of a League of Ireland club in the county. And like, we definitely need one, like, because the talent in the county, it's unbelievable.
How old are you, Aaron?
25.
25. Well, you better put pressure on him and his cousin James to make sure you're able to play in that stadium, because the way the government and the things are going on, it could be 20 years by the time we have it. But let's hope by the time you retire, we'll have a 6,000 seater stadium down there, and we'll have Aaron Dobbs and bright lights one of the days.
Player manager when I'm 40.
You're looking to get into management then, is that what you're saying?
Maybe further down the line now.
Are you doing any coaching at the moment?
No. Maybe with the mine in the future, we'll see.
I have a job for you.
The under 14 boys or girls, one or the other.
Oh, look, Aaron, thanks for coming in, and you'll always have my best wishes, but best of wish to everyone, and I think it's probably one of the biggest games in Wexford soccer in a long time, maybe, so all the best to you, and all I can say is just go out and enjoy it and do yourselves proud.
Thanks very much, Brown. Cheers,
Cheers,
Nicky.
Aaron.
Yeah, no, the same, Aaron. Like, your credit to Enniscorthy, and I just echo what Aaron said, or Aidan said there. Look, it's a fantastic achievement, and I know everybody in Enniscorthy definitely do look up to you, and fair play to you what you've achieved, and we'll definitely be looking at you come Sunday.
Brilliant. Thanks very
Right.
much, lads. Cheers, Nicky.
Cheers, Aaron.
See you in a bit.
Thanks, lads.
I think we mentioned there the great work Tony and them done come in. I suppose we can't let the night go without mentioning the man that started it all, in Mick Wallace. In fairness to him, we wouldn't have a League of Ireland set up only for him. I think he deserves a mention, doesn't he?
Look at Mick. Look at whether you believe in mixed politics or anything like that, you have to put everything like that to one side. And you have to say, like, he's one of these men who gave us a massive footfall or a massive foothold to put a League of Ireland club in Wexford. And don't forget, the man built that ferry carriage out of his own pocket. There's not many people in the whole country or even in the world that would be willing to put that kind of money and effort into it. So without Mick and Shawnee, these chats probably wouldn't be happening today.
Yeah, and now we're joined by the next best thing to come out of Wexford, Caleb Harrett.
The bright lights.
Yeah, so don't worry about Nicky now, I look after you. He could ask you or say anything to you.
I don't know. What's Padraig Way like as a teacher? First
He's
question.
alright, yeah, he's
Is
alright.
he?
That's all I'll say. Yes,
Actually, more importantly, is he a good football coach?
he is.
He
Yeah,
tells
he's very
us he's
good.
the best.
Yeah, he's very good.
So,
That's all he cares about, though.
Is it?
That's all he.
So
does.
he doesn't do a whole
Yeah,
lot
he
of
does.
teaching.
He does do a bit of teaching, but not a whole lot. No,
And don't forget, we had John Hegarty on here a couple of weeks ago, so he
Oh,
might
did
be.
he?
Yeah, he
Oh,
might be looking.
Jesus.
So could be getting Mr. Weehee in trouble.
Things are going well for you. You're only back from being away with the Irish international team.
yeah, it was in Slovenia. We played France. Who else we play? France, Slovenia, and Kazakhstan, and we done well over there. Yeah, done very well.
So
What's it like heading away?
It's different, I suppose. You're kind of full time, like, do you know what I mean? You're eating right, you're sleeping right, everything's perfect, like everything's ready to go for you. So it's good, yeah. It's good, very good.
It's a set up that's where you want to go. Like, you want to go professional. Well, that's the hope anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I want to do, and yeah, want to go full time.
What's it like being able to do that and play with your local club with Wexford FC in the League of Ireland? It must be a big step that you don't have to go up maybe to Dublin 3-4 nights a week when you're still in school. Like,
Yeah, I think it's brilliant there because you get an education out of it too. Because if I was up and down maybe in 3-4 nights a week, and I'd have no education or anything. Do you know what I mean? No, I think it's very good. The club's definitely on the up, and I'm excited for the future to see what happens with the new grounds and all.
And at the tournament there, you just mentioned, what sort of game time did you get? Or
Played against Kazakhstan. We beat them 3-1. It was comfortable enough. They weren't great now, to be honest with you, but we came on against France there. They were different kettle of fish. Unbelievable.
Any names we should look out for in the future?
There was a few of them on the PSG team against Arsenal there the other day. Well, they weren't starting, but they were on the bench. There was a good few of them. So that's crazy.
So that's the calibre that you were coming up against.
Yeah, they were absolutely unbelievable. Unreal.
What position are you playing for Ireland?
Playing fullback.
Fullback,
yeah.
And what's it like then being in the Wexford FC camp? It must also help when you have the 4 boys from Wexford to make it a little bit easier for you. Which one of them is the best to put their arm around you and give you a bit of advice?
Oh, Jesus. No, I said Dovsy's, yeah. Dovsy's all right. We play cards at the back of the bus on the way there, so...
See, you're wearing one of Dubsy's shorts. He likes the little old tight shorts.
Yeah, he likes the little old tight shorts out there, yeah.
So, game at the weekend will be a big game for you. Be hoping to get on the pitch at some stage?
Hopefully, yeah. I'd like to get on, yeah. Just get on the telly, like, really. You're on RTE. I'd love to play it. I think it's a very good day for the club. So, yeah.
That's a massive day for the club, and a massive day for yourself as well. Like being so young, what, you're 17?
17, yeah.
So like, Jesus, you have your whole career ahead of you. But I suppose you have to grab every opportunity as it comes, because you might never get another chance to be in an FAI semi-final.
Yeah.
So look at it's a massive opportunity. So.
You're still in CBS, aren't you?
I'm still in CBS.
Do you still get to play with the school teams now when you're... Or?
No, I wouldn't play with school teams anymore. No, I'd actually been coaching the first years now, actually, so it's not bad. I still get to get out of class, so it's all right.
I bet your Padraig tries everything to get you to play that.
Yeah, he does, yeah, but I have to tell him I can't. Not allowed. To be honest with you, I would. I'd love to go back, but
just James Keddy won't let you really now.
No, I just think it's just better if I don't play. To be honest with you, I just
young lads taking lumps, are you?
Yeah. So I just stick to my own game, don't play with Wexford. That's it.
So with Wexford, then the under-19s and the Irish team, what are you talking? Many times a week would you be out?
I'd be training Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and if I don't get on Friday, I'll have a match on Saturday. Like, so, I'm doing all right. Like, because you're out twice a week and you're training, and you have a match every week. So I'm not like on the bench or anything, and I don't get playing. I don't have a match for another few weeks. You know what I mean? So I'm playing every week, like, so it's not bad, and I like it.
What age you know?
I'm only 17.
17.
So tell me this: I've seen your dad play soccer a good few times.
Oh, he's dirt.
So that's I was going to say. Where did you get the talent from?
It definitely wasn't from him anyway. He's always on his backside playing.
Yeah, that is for sure.
Yeah.
And he hurt quite a few people in doing it.
Yeah, stop. He's ruthless out. He's no good though.
I wouldn't say that. Paddy had a small bit. I think Goggy was trying to sign him a few times there. So.
I don't know what he's watching out there then. Yeah.
If you're a player and you move, Goggy was trying to sign you.
So, we look at for me. I just wish you the best luck, and we definitely follow your career.
Yep.
And we wish you the best of luck, especially with the Irish setup coming up in the next few weeks. The under-19s are back around again, so. We wish you the best of luck with all of that, and hopefully one day we'll see you playing across the water somewhere like Festi.
Hopefully, and yeah, that's the plan, and yeah.
So right full back, make a lovely career out of it.
Lovely.
Thanks for coming in, and all the best, son, and hopefully you get on RT.
Hopefully, and yeah. Thanks very much.
All right, cheers
Caleb.
So, Nick, we were saying about Mick setting up the Wexford FC there. In fairness, it's been a great outlet for people. We're just saying to Caleb there, where he was saying he didn't have to go up and down to Dublin. That's the big thing at the academies, and I suppose they have improved academies in the last couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you have to look at the academy set up with all the teams getting into the elite stages. Like that has to only benefit local lads playing, and it's a massive feat for somebody like Wexford FC to have all the lads in the latter stages of the elite. So they have to be doing something right down there.
Yeah, now we're joined by a Camp Isle man whose soccer scene has been out in America, win All Irelands with the two Larkins. Mikey, welcome to the show.
Aidan, how are you? Nicky, all right?
All good, Mikey, and you?
All good.
First thing I'll ask him, Nicky says, I'm giving out a secret, all injury free.
Yeah, injury free now, thank God. It was kind of the last month, 6 weeks, I've kind of been in and out with injury, so all good now, thank God. The last few weeks.
Prior to the injury, you were having a great season, probably one of your best in the League of Ireland, would it be?
Yeah, definitely. I think the last couple of years at Galway and stuff, you're it was a bit in and out of the team, but scoring consistently this season, and James has given me the platform to do that. In fairness, so that's important.
Sorry, and your career is slightly small bit different towards Kelm and Aaron's. They kind of came in through League of Ireland. After your under 18 win with the county youths, you headed off to America for a few years and decided to come back. What was it like heading out?
Yeah, it was brilliant, and my career was slightly different, I suppose. Calum, Dobbsy are all playing League of Ireland when they're 16, whereas I played with Campoyle right up until I was just before I turned 18. So I went to Watford for a year and then over to America. So a little bit different, but wouldn't change it for the world. And the change I made with going to America, it was one of those where I found that gap between 19s and first team football at Waterford a little bit too big at the time, and I knew I wasn't going to be playing week in, week out, so just made the decision for my career to go to America, and it's paid off.
Are you still involved in getting scholarships lads going over and back? You're still doing a small bit on that?
Yeah, so I came home in 2021, signed for Galway, and I've been kind of getting lads over, helping getting lads over since then, so it tied in perfectly with full-time football when I was in it, so I've kept it going now, and it's good to have on the side.
Going back to the All-Ireland success, one question I want to ask, who was over the team, we or Garrett?
I'd say we used the brains, but you couldn't understand them.
No, Mick was the manager, in fairness. Garrett might say differently, but look, in writing, Mick was the manager, no doubt about that.
It was a great team, in fairness. I would have followed that team, and there was a few of our lads on it, but it was cracking. Donald Shannon, he was on it as well, he was a cracking player. Yeah,
and it was so enjoyable, it was... for me personally, I didn't make the Kennedy Cup squad, didn't make county under 14s, started to kind of break in at 16s, and then properly broke through at youths, and obviously won the All Ireland when I was 17, and then got to the final the following year. So that was a bit of a breakthrough for me, and then playing with the A team in Campoyle was a huge learning curve as well. So it just shows everyone's route is different.
Yeah.
But mine was very much going up to play against you on a Sunday morning, and you as well, and even Calum's dad, I used to play against Paddy on the weekends, and
Calum said he was on his arse.
He was the one on my arse because he was kicking lumps out of me. But no, look, it was brilliant, and some of the most enjoyable. It was probably the most enjoyable part of my career when I look back on it. It was brilliant.
And the college football you were playing in America, what standard would that be towards the League of Ireland?
Yeah, it's very similar. To be honest, it's very similar because you've got so many lads coming out of academies in England that have no education, and their only way back into education is going to America. So it I went over and didn't expect it to be as high as it was, and you've got lads that have grown up playing for Leicester, West Ham, top clubs in England, and it was a bit of a shock, to be honest, and it took me probably 6 months to get used to the level over there, but loved my 4 years there, and then kind of pushed on from there, I suppose.
What's the coaching like over there? Is it similar to here, or is it a bit different towards, the American sports more into the tactics end of things? Is it?
Yeah, it's different in a couple of ways. I'd say there's more of an industry for sport over there. You're not. A
lot of coaches are full time kind of.
Yeah. So your coaches, your assistant coach, goalkeeper coach, strength and conditioning coach, they're all full time. So you're training every morning in college, do your classes in the evening. So just the industry for sport over there, there's a lot more money going around, which does make a difference. And then the style of play is different over there because of the heat. So it's, you can't kick the ball long and lose possession because you're going to be chasing it for 4 or 5 minutes, and you can't afford to do that when it's 35 degrees. So, those are the two biggest differences.
I'll bring you back to the game Sunday. What will it mean to you I'm sure you'll be hoping to start the game, but even if you get on, what will it mean to you as a Wexford man to play in a FAI Cup semi-final for Wexford?
Yeah, it's huge, and it's that little bit more special, I suppose. I know Dobbsy spoke about it, but, when I was going around the league for the last few years, up until last year, Wexford wasn't really a viable option in terms of which club to come to. So the fact that it is a viable option now, and it's that little bit more special for us as Wexford lads. But yeah, it's a big game, and those are the games you want to be playing in. So it's exciting.
Is it easier for you to concentrate on your career into football, the fact that you're home now and you've you're near your parents, your friends. Like last night, were you travelling up now to Galway, or were you living in Galway? Or?
Yeah, so no, I was living in Galway for 3 years, and look, we used to train every weekend, so I rarely got home. So, one of the reasons I came home from America was to be closer to family, but I ended up never getting home anyway. So, when I went to Cove last year, I was living half between Cove and half between Wexford, so that was a little bit closer. And then obviously I'm back living in Wexford now, which is great, and just having them close around and being able to go to Campbell games on a Sunday morning and being able to watch my little brothers play, those are all the things I missed for the last 5-6 years. So it's nice to be able to do that, and it gives you a bit more balance between life and football.
I'm not sure if your father agreed, because I was talking to him. I was sat beside him and your mother the night of the cup quarter final, and he says you eat like a horse. It cost him a fortune. He was wondering, are you moving back out?
Yeah, I'm trying to make up for the last 10 years I wasn't there. So I'll eat like a horse for the next few years before I move out again, and then I'm sure he doesn't agree.
No. I look at sure everybody will. It's great to have you. To be honest with you, it's great to have you back in Wexford. Especially, I know the job that you're doing down there with the Camp I lads, jumping in and out, taking sessions. You're doing a lot of it last year, and it's great that somebody like you, Mikey, is coming back into the junior league to give off your a little bit of expertise. How are you finding it?
Yeah, I really enjoy it. There's the people involved in the club in Campbell are unbelievable. I think you even see that from the outside. It is a really good club. So, they were so good to me growing up. And then even when I went away, they were never anything but good to me. So to be able to just give back in a little way is good for me, and I enjoy it. And I love going to the games on a Sunday morning and kind of helping in any way I can.
Where the real football is.
Exactly, that's what I say.
As a player, though, must be a real buzz at this time of the year now that just semi-final, you're in the promotion hunt. Mentally, that take its toll on you as well, because you really want to give this game everything. It's probably an opportunity. You don't know when it's going to come around again, but also you obviously want to play up in the Premier, so you have stay in the focus to get promoted as well. So how are you dealing with the games? Have you put this cup game to a side till this week?
Yeah, we've tried, and it's such a cliche. Take every game, as it comes, and one game at a time. So it we've parked the cup a little bit the last couple of weeks, even though it was difficult. It's only really this week it's ramped up in terms of the media and promotions, and you're actually trying to get away from it a little bit, to be honest. But the league doesn't really matter this week for us because it's a cup game, and then next week, whether we win, lose or draw on Sunday, we're going to be focused on the league and getting into the playoffs first. And then obviously, look, we've got as good a chance as anyone if we can get there.
Is there much excitement around the squad? The fact that Caleb touched on it a bit there, that it's going to be live on RT?
Yeah, it adds to it as well. It's nice, those are the games you want to be playing in, and you kind of remember as a kid looking at League of Ireland games on TV. The Wexford lab going around would have been Greg Boulder, I suppose, at the time. Yeah. And so look, for kids, even from Camp Oyle, for kids that...
For your own brothers?
Yeah, for my own brothers and kids around Camp Oyle that I see every day in the shop and stuff like that, and up at the schools and stuff, it's great. So it definitely means more, and it gives kids in Wexford, I think, something realistic to strive for, which is important as well. And
a question you might want to answer now, but you scored last week, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're back. You've been in and out with injury. So when does James let you know the time? I know usually it's a Friday night game, but when will it be? Sunday on morning? Will it be Saturday evening at training? Will you know the team? Or?
No, you don't know the team until he names it in the hotel before the game. Yeah. So, look, I think with experience you come to prepare for games the same, whether you're starting or you're not. As a 17, 18-year-old, it might be a little different. You might lose your head, but you can't, because that's when there's going to be an injury in the warm-up or something when you're in from the start. So to be honest, it doesn't matter now anymore. I know it would have probably 5-6 years ago, but we won't know until the hotel. That's the way it's been all year, and we won't change anything this week.
You were training there tonight. Everything going good? Happy enough with the preparations?
Yeah, everything's going well. I think everyone's excited for the week. It's obviously a little bit different. It's just, I suppose, trying not to do things too differently either. So yeah, it's been the same as every other training week, to be honest. You you look at Drogheda's strengths, you look at their weaknesses. You try work on them just like we do with every other team in the first division. So, it's been a good week.
What type of manager is James? Is he kind of as players, like, would you be able to approach him about tactics or stuff, or is it just his way and that's it? Or can you approach him about, as players, he's have input on the tactics kind of thing? Or
just before you answer that, be careful. Don't forget, he's not named the team till Sunday morning, so...
Is he listening?
You never know. He's the best manager you've
didn't
ever
ask
seen,
him
isn't he?
I didn't ask anything. I just asked to see our players.
Asked him what was he like.
No, the players
brilliant.
There's only one answer.
Brilliant.
Like Nicky wouldn't let his players give any input.
I know that.
I know I would. But then, like...
I just want to, as players, could you approach him? Is he,
Yeah,
or is he just...
No, he's very approachable, to be honest, and it's not just about football. You know, I think it's about anything, and he made that clear to us. You know, it's
That's a big thing about management at the moment.
Yeah,
it can't be just the football. It has to be everything.
Definitely.
Yeah.
James he's a real family man, and gives us a lot of weekends off, which I haven't had for years. So that's a big thing as well. He was a player and obviously a top player, and he understands the player side of things. So keeps us happy that way, and look, he fills players with confidence, and I think he treats players how he like to be treated as a player, and he's really good. I've really enjoyed it.
And fairness, he's won a couple of cups too, so he knows what the cup is all about. So he can give you that experience come Sunday as well.
Yeah, he's told me a couple of times he's never lost a cup semi-final, so no pressure on us now. But he won it all as a player in the league, to be fair.
Yeah. Look, it's great to see you, Mikey. Thanks a million for coming in, and hopefully we'll be seeing you on the field Sunday.
Cheers, Aidan. Thanks, Nicky.
Best of luck, Mikey.
Cheers,
all
lads.
the best. Fair play to you.
And Nicky, I touched on it earlier with Dobbsy, but as a Wexford man, it's great to see so many local lads involved in it, and you've Dara from
Darrell
Corey,
Livingston, yeah.
Eaton from Wexford Town, Caelan from Wexford Town, Aaron from Enniscorthy, and Mikey down from Campoyle, all parts of the county represented, in fairness.
A lot of districts, really.
Yeah, it's probably a bit unique, I'd say, for our League of Ireland.
Definitely, yeah. So it'd be interesting to see, does Tony get the checkbook out next year and see, do we get Craig Bulger in for one last swan song, another Ross man, or it'll be interesting to see, does that happen. But no, look, it's fabulous to see all bases of the county covered. Look at the chaps who were playing, fully deserve to be in there. They're all good lads, in fairness to them, and as you can see tonight, they're very proud of Wexford FC, and they really can't wait for Sunday to come.
Yeah.
And in the end of the season, it's been a brilliant run for them the last 2 years.
Now we're joined by John Godkin, head of football in Wexford FC. Welcome, John.
Hi, lads.
Just before we get into the Wexford FC, now I have a question come in from John Megan. Give me 1 second there now.
Nicky with technology.
I'm better than you. Have you turned your one on?
No.
Show the voice. Show the camera. Hi lads, what do you think of Wexford calling off the Ferns against Bows game on Sunday, so North End can play Wexford Bows on Saturday evening? Well, I do know that the Ross Celtic North End was called off because of Packy O'Neill, so I'd pass on condolences to
touched on that
Ross Celtic. Well, I was going to say it at the end, but definitely Packy was a great football man, a great new Ross Celtic man, and obviously all three of us in this room would have definitely came in contact with Packy somewhere along the line. So
John, you probably would have had more with him than he was.
Massive loss to new Ross.
Yeah.
To me, as a young manager going down to Ross, he'd be always there in the dressing room, and he always a time for you. In fairness to him, he was brilliant. I was very fond of him, I have to say, but you would have came across him more than me and Nicky.
Yeah, I always got a great welcome from him, in fairness. The minute you come into Ross Celtic, and he was Ross out and out. Now, as the game started, Packy wore the red and white with his heart. But what was really interesting is in 2010, I always remember it, we were looking for the pitch towards the end of the Oscar training run in, and Packy always made Ross available to us.
Yeah.
We had 3 Ross lads on the team at the time as well, but he was brilliant. Never forget him, and we actually stopped in Ross to thank him on the way back that time. So yeah, deepest sympathies to all his family.
Especially, and the O'Neills are just embedded in your Ross Celtic, aren't they? So he'll be a massive loss. And just when we're talking about losses, that hit Bunclody unfortunately this week with Sevi. I was up there the other evening, and to be honest with you, it was just a sad occasion, and another massive loss to a football club within our own county. He came into the country probably about 20 years ago, came to work in the mill race, and he's embedded in Bunclody.
Everyone knew him, in fairness.
Yeah, and I was just listening to some of the stories the lads had up there, and they were saying he's life and soul and have a party and a crack and well able to look after himself. And he was one of these footballers who you'd hate playing against, but you'd love in your 11, and just an absolute massive loss. And I just want to commend the two clubs, Ross Celtic and Bunclody. The two of them had up on their social media pages. I don't know who put the words together, but two absolutely fabulous. I don't know, are there eulogies or something, whatever that is for both clubs. And I just want to commend both of them on what they've done and the level of respect they showed the two people who passed away under such difficult circumstances. So I wish to send my own condolences to both clubs.
Yeah, great servant Sebi was as well, and many a battle with him. We were actually in Division 1 when he came into the game under Eddie Scally.
Yeah.
And never forget it, he wore his heart on his sleeve, but when the game was over, he was a great character, and give you a 5 after the match. And so sad, but it's so sad at the moment for young males anyway. Something that we probably need to look at going forward as a society.
Myself and Aidan are going to go and do a bit of training. We'll talk to Tom over the next couple of weeks, and we'll be inviting the lads in, Tom or Ray should I say, out to talk to Tom to come on to the show one night. And we're definitely, I speak for myself on this, but I'm going to put it out there to every club in Wexford, whether it be men, ladies, school children. Mental health affects everybody, and put it out there that there's training available. You might not ever need to use it, but if you can spot one thing and help that one person, it has to be worth your while. So I think it's a massive thing that we should definitely, as a football community, to come together and look at trying to get as many people trained in it. So we'll definitely have that coming up over the next couple of weeks.
And I think to answer John's question, I suppose not going to talk for Pádraig. I suppose Pádraig probably don't want to leave North End free because he's expecting probably to go further in the outside competitions later in the year. So I'd say that's why it is. Look, we're not going to get
we won't get in. But just to answer the question for me, I genuinely think it's probably a little bit of a lack of respect for Ferns and Wexford Bows. In why the game was called off, their game was fixed. I know me as a manager from last Sunday, I was preparing my team to get ready for if I was the Ferns manager, I was preparing to be ready for Wexford Bows. I think it's a little bit of a lack of respect, and I'm on the league to pull that fixture. Yeah, look, I personally would have just left North End off.
I'd agree with you, but I can see where Pádraig is probably coming from.
But we have to look at it like these lads. The job that Caelan Morrissey is doing is every bit as important as the job Gary Dempsey is doing. It's the same as Frank Cleary preparing. Like Frank Cleary was preparing his players to play against Ferns. North End is a completely different game. And to get that game changed on a Wednesday night and try and even change your own mindset and get yourself prepared, I think it's a little bit of a lack of respect. Like under the circumstances, I think that North End could have finished.
The only thing I'll add to that is now that I'm not wearing the North End cap,
everybody
will see that as maybe North End have something to do with that. But I guarantee you, they didn't know. They've just been told the game is on, so they don't have any.
And even for Gary to be prepared,
that's my point. I actually don't agree. I do agree with Nick. I think it should have been left. But there will be people out there thinking, "Oh, this is North End again." But this will have nothing to do with North End. This will just Pádraig thinking down the line. North End need to play games.
I'll clarify. It wasn't Pádraig. It was the chairman. But I just think that we should be definitely. Everybody should be in the one hat. That game, I just don't think. Once the fixture is fixed on a Sunday night or whatever, once it goes out public, I don't think a fixture should be changed. I think that's just my own opinion.
I think Aidan is right, and we probably shouldn't get bogged down on it. But I think Aidan is right because I know they have 3 games in outside competitions in a row after that.
Then to Senior Cup as well.
And I'd say he's looking at that. But look, it's a pity. There's no winner.
We'll move on to what you're here to talk about, John. Massive weekend for the club.
Yeah,
really. Is it the biggest Sanchez got involved?
Yeah, no, it is. But I mean, Aaron's just reminded everybody. Last year we actually got into the playoffs, which was massive. But we also got to the cup quarter final. Yeah. And 8 minutes to go, we were 1-0 up down in Cork in Turner's Cross, and we actually naivety, inexperience, all those things that you'll throw at it, and plus the home crowd really rallied behind Cork, and we lost the cup quarter final last year. So, like this year, to get to the semi final, and if you think about it, like you're 90 minutes away from the Aviva Stadium, and it'll be an absolute dream come true as a one-off spectacular cup game. I think as a club, ideally the playoffs is where we want to be, and if you can come up in the playoffs and get promoted, that's where you really want to be. But no, this is great. For the players this week, you heard the three lads there, what it means to them, and what it means to all the lads in the Wexford sort of dressing room. Like, we even have Thomas Lewis singing Dancing at the Crossroads now. So, all the guys are, they've bought into the project. But no, it's massive, and I think there's a great buzz around training this week. You can get the buzz around, all the tickets are sold out. The away end and the home end, I think it's about 3,500 Cedar Stadium. And we've 600 allocated tickets, and I think they're all sold as well, which is great for Wexford to bring 600 to an away tie.
Massive,
Yeah.
We've been talking to the boys about the playing preparation for the game. You've been more involved now with the off the field stuff. What's that been like? Is it a lot different than a usual Friday night game?
Yeah, well, to be honest, James is very level headed, so he'll play it down. I know he'll be the type that'll just keep the lads, same as. We had a little bit of a difficult situation in that they tried to fit the Finn Harps game in this week pre the semi-final, and James was adamant, and the management, we didn't want any sort of distractions coming into the cup game. So, we won that 1 over, and now we've 3 games in 8 days next week. But no,
because that in itself would have been a massive game, in fairness.
Yeah, because it's 6th and 4th at the moment. But no, James is trained as normal. They'll train again on Saturday, which will be an extra session this week with the Sunday game, and then they'll prepare for the cup game the same as any other game, week in, week out. So look, at James has been in 4 semi-finals as a player, never lost one.
Yeah, so Mikey was just saying, yeah,
never lost one as a player. As a manager, I'm not sure if you've ever played any of his finals in the Aviva. I do know he missed one, and he always regretted it through injury. So he'll be well schooled there. He'll be well experienced, and he'll use that, with the lads this week. And sort of, I think he'll be really, really. I think the key focus will making sure the lads perform, make sure they get a big performance, and then anything can happen. And once they don't go out and sort of let themselves down on the day, or don't play up to the level that they can, I think he'll be very happy. And then whatever comes out at the end, a performance gets you a win sometimes. But as you said, Drogheda have had a really good spell. I think they've picked up 8 points out of the last 12.
It's a bonus game for a lot of reasons. Also, you on about the promotion and playoff. If it looks like if they're going to go up, they're going to have to play Drogheda to get up. So at least they'll have that. They'll know the level they have to get if they do meet them again. Yeah,
no, they will. And to be honest, I'd say the lads probably this year, the first division, Cork have pulled away a little bit, which is a bit frustrating from, say, a Wexford point of view and the other teams in the league. But last year, I honestly believed Galway and Waterford were a different level. I don't even think Cork were at that level this year, if I look back over the whole season. So,
as Galway and Waterford last year?
Yeah, no, I think Galway and Waterford they were ready for the Premier Division, and look at what they were going to stay up.
Quite comfortable.
Yeah, I don't think Cork were, but now, having said that, Cork have in the window of strengthened up big time with Ronan Keaton and Shawnee Maguire coming in, so preparing for the next level. But I think if there's ever a really good opportunity to come out of Division 1, this year, I think opens it up a little bit. I think it won't be quite as difficult as last year.
And just if it does happen, and hopefully it does happen, will you be prepared to go to that next level?
If I'm Tony here, he'll have sleepless nights. But as I said to him only recently, and we discussed it, if you wake up and you're in there, you have to prepare sometime for it. So sometimes being put under pressure to prepare for it, it's better. Like, the aim is to get there anyway. We have a sort of a 1 to 3 year plan and a 5-year strategy. Within that is to get to the Premier Division. So you have to be ready for it at some stage. True.
And just the game itself, then, is there going up Sunday morning? Or the night before, anything like that? Or?
I think James will change preparations around a little bit this week. I think he'll bring the lads training on Saturday, and then he'll keep them together and travel on from Saturday. So I think he will slightly change it, but more so to give the lads that feeling of how big the game is, and
give that professional setup.
And that professional setup. They do it anyway. They're very professional in what they do, off the pitch. But if you think about it, lads, if you get to the Aviva, it's as a money spinner to the club. You will never get a better opportunity on the football side, and then you're technically 90 minutes from Europe. So if you think about it that way, you start to say, hang on, let's give it the best preparation you can, and let's do whatever you need to do to give you that extra edge. I think he will slightly change it this weekend.
And it was kind of touch on the next question I was going to ask you. If you do get to the final, what does it mean for the club?
prize money alone, I think the prize money for the cup winners is about 32,000. It's 16 if you're runners up, and then it's 8 for semi-finalists if you lose. So the prize money, it doubles up at each stage, but also there's a major share of the gate. And for any cup final, I think in the last
couple of years,
it's been over 40,000. And someone put in the paper yesterday, I seen it on Twitter, it was really funny, that if Wexford got to a final of the FAI Cup, it'll be the biggest GAA final ever up in the Aviva Stadium. Because, Wexford supporters, they'll go and support purple and gold.
Yeah, well, let's hope they all get up there to support.
Well, we have to get there first.
I suppose the timing has been working perfect last couple of weeks. Is that a big announcement there a couple of weeks ago about the plans for Wexford Town and now being live on the telly on Sunday? It's a great publicity for the club.
Yeah, no, it's excellent. You couldn't buy it. And, it's down to the lads performing as well. Like, they've gone, I think they've lost 1 in 9 now, or 1 in 10. And they've put a really good sort of run of games together. We are, being realistic as well, we are where we really set out to be. So, like, I know a couple of weeks ago everybody was sort of saying just Wexford are in a bit of trouble, and we were 6 points outside the playoffs nearly at one stage, but we always intended to get into the playoffs at least was the target, and getting a good cup run. But the playoffs is really that's the bread and butter for the club. So look, we still could finish second, which would be a major feat in itself. We finished fourth last year. We're still fourth at the moment. But there is a little edge, I think, in the playoffs if you can finish second or third, because you get the home game in the second one.
Yeah.
And I know that stood to Cove last year when Mikey played for Cove against us down there. They had that home crowd behind them, a critical time in the game. Last 10 minutes, it's like an extra man, So, look at we are where we are, but ideally, it's going the next step over the next couple of years, because when you get a new stadium and you look at the academy, in fairness, there's a lot of work going on the academy. Like, we'll have again 3 teams playing the elite phase this weekend. Big thanks to CK United and the FEI as well. They've changed their Sunday games to allow the coaches and the parents and all get to see the game as well in Drogheda. So big shout out to them as well there.
Well, fair play to them.
Yeah.
When Tony and yourself got involved, one of the biggest things we were aiming to do was bring a more Wexford contingent to the whole setup, especially the academies. He is surprised at the level you have the Wexford lads in, at 5 lads in at the set up, and look, it's not a case of just having them there for the sake of having Wexford lads there. They all deserve to be there. They're all capable of playing at that level. Has to be a massive bonus going into just one, sell the club to the county, and 2, going into a big game at the weekend that you have 5 home grown talents in it. And as we said, when Nicky hit there, it's unique. Nearly all the districts are hit. It's probably unique for a League of Ireland club that a whole county would be represented, kind of.
Yeah, and last year we had Charlie as well. Look at Mikey, will tell you, we tried to get Mikey last year. He was always the target that we wanted to get in because he's a big profile in the game. Aaron, like, the guys don't realise how big a profile they have in the game and how many young Wexford kids look up to him. Like, Caleb's fan club will be 15 down and 14 down, so they're the next generation. Ethan, Ethan's been around. He's played at Linfield Rovers, Finn Harps for a number of years.
Shamrocks as well.
Shamrocks as well, Rovers, and actually he played with Rovers. Then you have Darragh Livingston, who's really, Darragh's really, the last couple of years, his career has really taken off. And he's a glory man.
In fairness, he was always in the shadow of his brother, and he really stepped out. But he was, like, his brother was over in England, and in fairness to him, like, he was top class. And Darragh's really, after cementing his own place in Wexford FC and Wexford,
and still very young.
Yeah, very, very young. And one thing
Under James has probably been one of the most foreign players in there, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, he started a lot of games again, both seasons. But look, in fairness to James, one of the things when we sat down, you'd have your chats about where you'd like to go and things you'd like to achieve. James said that one of the or two of the best years he ever had as a player was when he played for Derry City. But there was 4 people travel up to Derry every week for training, and all the rest were Derry City players. And he said there was only 4 outsiders, and he believes that that's the way Wexford will have to go in the future and what we'd like to do. So it'll be backbone by Wexford players, only if they're good enough as well. Like, they have to be good enough. Look at the talent that we have there now. But the hope is that you backbone of Wexford players and that you bring in then outside players or players from outside the county to boost the squad or strengthen the squad. Like Greg Bulger, I know you mentioned him, he'd be ideal. Like, I would have spoke to Greg about it 2 or 3 times, but he still wanted to stay pro for at least another season. Now he's got promoted again. You don't know what way he'll be thinking, but he's doing his coaching badges at the moment. But, like, they're the type of players that could bring unbelievable experience back to to our League of Ireland side. And if we're realistic about getting them, we need to get to the Premier League.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So they all go hand in hand, Nicky.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with you 100%.
Look, that's the game. Sunday. It's going to be a massive game. And I think I agree with you. I think if you Wexford get to the final, I think you'll fill the Viva. No problem with Wexford supporters going up. But now when we do have you, maybe just give us a quick rundown on how the rest of the club is going. You're saying there's 3 of the academies at elite level?
Yeah, we're actually one of 5 clubs in the country that have 5 teams in the elite phase. 2 of the women's teams, 17s and 19s, and our own 20s, 17s and 15s have all qualified for the elite phase. Even Shamrock Rovers haven't achieved that this year. Jeez. And look what they put into their academy. And then I think in the men's side, we're one of only 4 clubs that have had 3 or more teams qualify for the elite phase as well. And qualifying for the elite phase is one thing for me because you're playing the best, but we're actually mid-table in the 20s. We're 4th in the 20s, probably 5th in the 17s at the moment, and that's the team Gary has. But Gary hasn't even played our 3 best 17s with him this year because Oisin played up at 20s and then he got his move, as you know. Calum hasn't played with the 17s even though he's eligible, and young Will Gall has been playing 20s as well. So Gary's achieved that with 3 of the best 17s in the county not even playing for him.
Yeah.
Because we believe that the players playing up and playing at the higher levels are going to bring him on, and hopefully, let them become first team players in the next couple of years.
Or even move them on to bigger, better things outside of Ireland.
Yeah.
Like what Oisin has done, which has to be the main goal for anybody in Ireland to really go on to the next level.
Yeah. And as a club then, and as the management of the club, maybe not James, but it would be down to him as well, but you as running the academies, is there a figure, probably the wrong word, but is there a figure of how many of this current, say, under 20s you'd like to see in the first team set up in the next couple of years? Like, what's the success for that? Is it 3 or 4 into it, or is it 1 into it? Or
I think a success at all would be breaking anyone through. But I do believe that we should be at least bringing 2 to 3 through every year into the first team setup. At the moment, we've got a number of loan players that are, playing with Shelbourne or Bowes. Like Luke Brown came in last year. He never played a first team game with his club in Dublin. Came to Wexford and he's gone to Crystal Palace. So we've been helping develop players for other clubs, which is great, and it's good for us because they're top players. But they need to be Wexford players, in the next few years. And if it is, then we're doing something right. But we have to stay in the elite phases. You have to be playing the best. I mean, like, we played Bowes under 20s recently, and 7 of the Bowes lads are full time at 20s level. So
full time at 20s level.
At 20s level, yeah. So that's what we're actually that's what we're competing against or trying to, and and as I said to you, I think in the next few years the talent in Wexford that's here, the talent that's always been there, we probably just haven't nurtured it as well as we probably could have, or they've had to go away to St. Joseph's Boys, Home Farms and like that. Calum could be the first player to come through the whole academy, and then please God maybe end up getting a professional contract out of it. That would be great to see, because now every other young kid in Wexford is going to say, and their parents, well, I don't really.
There's a route.
Yeah. And even young Oisin going, that was massive for the club. Coming back from Rovers, playing for Wexford, we promised him that we'd sort of give him opportunities. He got them, and then he gets a move. So it's all positive publicity. Like,
would there be any obviously you have Caleb, but would there be any current under 20 squad training with the first team, or is that something James does, or does he just like working with the squad he have? Or
no, there's 9 players from the 20s have trained this year with the first team. I think on a Wednesday he'll always bring in at least 3 or 4 because he works on set plays and he works on formation, so he has 11v11 every Wednesday. So they all get a taste for it and they're in around there. We actually done something recently that people might not realise as well, but we signed 3 Waterford Academy players into our 20s, which would be very unusual, and one of them had already made his debut with Waterford a number of years ago. So they're seeing Wexford as a potential pathway through, because they're struggling, because with Fleetwood as their owners now, they're bringing players across from the UK and they're not getting the opportunity that they had. So that could be a positive thing for us as well.
Yeah.
For
giving that away now, John. But it's a great opportunity, and like as you just said with young Brown, some young lads are just looking for that opportunity to get themselves in a shop window to get to your Crystal Palaces or your Fleetwood Towns or wherever, and it's a massive opportunity for the lads to come here, because they know if they come to put in the effort, they are going to get game time. As I said,
Lewis Temple's probably had the same effect this year.
Yeah,
he's come in now in the window, done really well, and Connor in the goal as well has done really well. But yeah, look at it. It's great that kids want to come to play for Wexford as well, and to see Wexford playing in Division 1 and playing with the first team as a step a progressive step for them. So yeah, it's good.
Before we finish up, we mentioned a team that's well used to playing on the telly down there and winning cups. The women's, I think, their last home game of the season this weekend against Shamrocks. To be slightly disappointed with their season.
I think overall no, because if you think last year they sort of finished around mid-table and probably everybody from the outside thought that team was now sort of on the way out, on the way down. They've bounced back. They've brought in a lot of good young players this year. They've had some great results the second half of the season. They're the farm team in the second half of the season. So I think everybody is looking at it as a I suppose, a replenishment of the old team and bring on the new, and that they're in a good position to move on and challenge again next year.
And how is it working now, being all the one club, the women's section and the men's section?
Really good. We're talking about Tony and myself, but there's Eileen, Dave, Alan Brown. There's a lot of people in the background doing a lot of work, and then both committees now are the one, technically. So it's only a matter of time before we're really all in one club. But it takes, any merger like that takes a bit of time.
Bending in and different ways of doing things. And look, the women have definitely led the way for Wexford FC over a number of years, and it's very, very hard to keep at the level that they are, especially with the kind of funding that they had. That they reached unbelievable levels, didn't they?
Yeah, I know. They played in Europe. They won in the Aviva. Hopefully we can follow in their footsteps the weekend, and that'll be a massive step. But I will say, Nicky, one thing that, and the three of us will know better than anyone because we've been involved in the sidelines for years. The amount of interest that's now starting, I can see it and feel a little bit from the local clubs. The amount of people now that are, wanting to sort of get back involved in the League of Ireland team, to me, that's really essential. And good people, because one of the things I said recently, a guy asked me about, the quality of our coaching staff at the academy level and blah, blah, blah. And they're great. The amount of work they do, they're all doing their badges, they're getting their A licenses and all like that. Some of the best managers I have in there at the moment are the guys that came directly from the Wexford Football League. They've been managers and now they're going back and doing their badges.
Gary's, your mullets,
these lads. So we have a lot of good people in Wexford. Like the amount of experience that you guys have.
Even look at Owen MacDonald, such a young lad. Yeah. Played quite a few Premier games with Shamrock Rovers with us at a very, very young age, and geez, I'd be delighted going down and seeing him out there. Especially, he might go down on a Monday night for a meeting and he's out and he's directing young lads on how to improve the game. And what a lovely young chap he was, and Owen was always a pleasure to work with. And the likes of him will definitely grow in the game, as he gets that bit older, gets a bit more experience. So it's brilliant for the opportunity for these lads.
And Wexford people as well.
Yeah, it's not just about being a good coach. And I mean, Mikey touched on here about James that being I know that's first team and all, but being approachable outside of football. Yeah, and I think that's a massive thing for the academies, that there's young fellas, you don't know what they're going through. They might be struggling with studying and the things that they can approach the managers and the coaches and talk to them about the things outside of football.
Yeah.
It's not just about being a good coach. There's loads of good coaches that, to me, are top coaches, but just not able to handle the outside of the football things. Yeah. Well, not in the workload, the outside of football things. I'm here for the football. That's it.
I think it's a debate, maybe it's for another time, but I genuinely believe that you can never give managerial experience through coaching badges.
No.
And then you can never, as a manager, sort of hold sessions like the coaches do unless you've been through that as well. Right. So there's definitely a balance there. But in fairness to James, he's early 50s before he took his first managerial job. He's played at the highest level and he's been an assistant for maybe 5-6 seasons under other good managers, you know what I mean? So he's come through the hard road, and the lads will tell you as well, he's a little bit old school in that I like, in that when I say old school, his basic principles are really, really good, and the player comes first.
Yeah.
It's always been that way. The players might see it. Mikey made a very good comment about when I was 17 that, if I was left out of the team, I used to affect me this way, that Caelan's probably going through that phase now, and the fact that he's only going through, this is probably maybe the first wobbly part in his career, even though it's not wobbly. It's actually progression and it's a step in the right direction. What he learns this year will probably stand him for the future, and he doesn't realise it yet. So you've got to treat all players differently, but James is very good with the players.
And just like what Mikey, I can echo it. A fellow once told me, and I've often said this to any young lad coming through, from 18 to 21, 22, you're only learning the game. From 22 to 30, you're at your peak of the game. And from 30 till the day you finish, you should be able to play in any position. Because, you should be able to read the game at that stage, and Caleb is in that little bracket there where he's learning and learning and learning and learning, and he'll have to take good days and bad days and be in and out of teams at times like that. But it's part of the learning curve. But I love the part where it's old school. Like, we didn't invent the game. Do you know, it's all these lads coming in and trying to invent different things and do things. Yeah, the game has to grow, but at the end of the day, it started hundreds of years ago. It's 11v11, and if you can make your lads feel the best they can about themselves going out and preparing them, you're in with a damn good chance, no matter who you're playing at that stage.
Yeah, when I chat to James sometimes, like, and he just when you think about the football, his passion for football still is just, he's still that kid that was a player. And you know, he's told me stories about he was close to making it across the water and all that, but he's had an illustrious career in the game in Ireland, and that's the first thing that stood to me when I seen the CV. The name just hit me straight away. But when I look back at the experience he'd been through, director of football at Home Farm, manager of Bluebell United, Manchester Senior League, people don't see the years that he's put in prior to this. So, you know, that's why for him and the squad and his back room, you know, Dennis Ian and Shane Nolan, as you know, for all of them, I'd love them to get that success at the weekend, and then doing it in the purple and gold jersey will even be better again. So you know,
he could be gone next year.
Yeah, well, look at
if he does win it.
But if he does, that's a positive.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so he's not going to go to a smaller club, really, is he? He's going if he does land a.
It's not that long ago. It's not that long ago when we were finding it hard to attract manager for Wexford FC.
That's very true.
All for us left to do is wish us all the best. I think it's a massive weekend for Wexford soccer that you're going to put on the TV Sunday afternoon. You're going to see 5 local lads representing their county in an FAI Cup semi-final. So fair play to everyone involved, and just wish us all the best.
Yeah, thanks very much for the coverage, lads. It's great coming. It helps build the atmosphere for the weekend. Yeah,
no, look, it's massive. It's absolutely massive, and I definitely will have it on in the pub all right Sunday. I'm in work at 5 o'clock myself, so I'll only. What time's kick off? 4?
10 to 3.
Oh, 10 to 3. Yeah, I'll nearly get it all then. So
it's an unusual time. Actually.
Yeah. So whoever's in early for me, they may stay late. I'll be watching the match.
I must say before we go, we have a young lad coming in. His young lad was born in Wexford as a professional boxer, so he's only actually made. He's had 2 professional debuts.
You were saying this to me yesterday, yeah.
Dean Furlong is his name, Dean Gonzalez Furlong. So.
What a name. Dean Gonzalez Furlong.
And he goes by the nickname Speedy Gonzalez. But he wears the Wexford colours, and he's actually going to lead the team out at the weekend. Brilliant. Wearing a Wexford FC jersey because his grandfather lives here, and some of his cousins all actually go to the games. And so he's looking forward to it now, and it'll help us promote him for his big fight coming up soon as well. So,
is he any good of a boxer?
Well, he's won 2 out of 2, so that's good.
Have you seen him?
Yeah, he's a good lad. Yeah, he's actually boxed now at Wexford CBS. When he was here, I think as a 22-year-old. So he's a good young lad.
So we keep an eye out for him.
Thanks for coming in, John, and thanks to the boys as well. Thanks for giving up your time. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to the Wexford Football League Show.